Bloke in a Bar this week is brought to you by Squarespace. As always, a massive thank you to Squarespace for supporting the platform. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that helps you build and manage a professional website. Absolutely incredible. We use it at the start of Bloke in a Bar, which is called The Locker Room back then, called The Locker Room Network, actually, the website was. That was so easy to use. And if we could use it back then, guys, you know you could use it now. But they also have a brand new feature, a new fast and flexible way to collect payments on Squarespace. It's called Paylinks. And it will seriously simplify how you get paid. Just one custom on-brand link and you can start transacting directly with your customers. With Paylinks, you can request a fixed amount or let your customer enter exactly what they want to pay. Then you can share the link wherever your shoppers are, email, text, social, even a QR code. It's that easy. Try it today and make every transaction way more seamless. So guys, they've got all the features I've already detailed over the last few months. And also, they've got a brand new flexible way to take care of payments. It is the best in the business, guys. Make sure if you need a professional website for your small business, whether you're a tradie, whether you're a corporate entrepreneur, whatever you are, you need a website that's easy to use, intuitive, a brand new fast and flexible way to handle payments. Squarespace is the place to do it. Massive thank you to Squarespace. And also head to squarespace.com/bloke for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code BLOKE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Once again, full circle moment. I used to use Squarespace all those times ago when we built up a website. A massive thank you to Squarespace for supporting the platform.
Just a bloke in a bar.
What's going on, guys? Bloke in a Bar is brought to you by Grumpy Coffee, the best coffee in all the land. It's got an 85 cup rating, which means it's a high quality coffee. Usually for a blend, 85 out of 100 is really, really good. Single source, you can sometimes go a little bit higher, but we've got everyday, we've got very grumpy. You will not be disappointed. Capsules, ground, whole bean, we've got it all. Go to grumpycoffee.com.au, order your coffee today. Should be at your house 24 to 48 hours. Any dramas, just shoot us customer service a message, but turn that phone upside down with some Grumpy Coffee. And it's also brought to you by Lontel Internet, the best internet, premium internet. You pay as you go. You pay per day. So let's say you've got the internet for 2 weeks and then you go away for 2 weeks. You can actually pause your internet and you only pay for the 2 weeks you used it. On top of that, you also only pay for the speeds you use. So if you just want normal speeds, you can just pay the normal rates. If you want crank it speeds, the crazy speeds, you turn it all up, you crank it up, and you just pay for that, then you can crank it back down. Lontel, it's the internet of the future, guys. Lontel.net.au/bloke. You can get 7 days free trial, no credit card, no contracts needed, and then you get $25 credit. And also, there are people that may be eligible for NBN to be hooked up to their home. 150,000 homes are eligible for it. Go into the show notes, click the link. This used to cost $30,000. It's now free. NBN isn't what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. It is unbelievable. At the moment, I got it at my house. I'm downloading 70 gig files in literally like 3 or 4 minutes. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's get into the chat. I'm here with the big fella, Rhys Robson. How you going, brother?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Very, very good, thanks, mate. And down in Sydney now. Now, first of all, I want to let the people know that, you know, if you ever admired Reece's Origin performances, technically he's essentially a Queenslander. Can you let the people know where you're actually from?
Not at all, mate. Northern New South Wales. right there on the border, but no, mate, well and truly in New South Wales.
Listen, I'll let the people decide. Is Tweed Heads on the Gold Coast? That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. That's where his parents are residing. So listen, if he's ever plays well in Queens, it must be the Queensland spirit, mate, that gets you across the line.
No way. No way. That's why I'm down here in the thick of it.
Mate, first of all, how's the body feeling? It's off season.
Yeah, mate. Feeling good. Obviously coming towards the end of the off season now, so I'm feeling good, mate, and ready to get back into some training though. So I've probably been enjoying it a little bit too much, so need to get back to some training. So, but no, body's feeling good,
mate. I'm so keen to hear your thought process here because you know it happened so long ago, but I was like genuinely surprised when it came out that you signed with the Roosters. And that's, you know, obviously why you're down in Sydney now. I guess, why did that happen? You're here now. How excited are you? All that good stuff.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, like everyone, in your footy career, obviously, it's never as straight and narrow as you want it to be sometimes. And, it's obviously, for me, change is as good as a holiday. And I just think it come to a point where, I was looking for a new opportunity. And, and then when the Roosters reached out after speaking to Trent and that at the club, it was just very exciting and everything I wanted to hear as a footballer and really aligned with how I wanted to play my game. Was the exact things that Trent spoke to me about, and And I guess, obviously to come down and play for a club like the Roosters was just, obviously so exciting for me. And and obviously a big move from Townsville to Sydney. But I've spent a lot of time down in Sydney before when I was at the Dragons, before I moved up to Townsville. So that was never obviously too foreign for me to come back down here to Sydney. And but to be able to represent the Roosters and play with alongside some of those boys and the calibre of players they got in that team, I just can't wait to get into some training and get the work done. I'm looking forward to the 2026 season.
And when do you reckon, because as I said, like, honest, if I'm being honest, I just always assumed you'd be a Cowboy. I just thought, yourself, Dearden, Cotter as well. It's just an assumption. When do you reckon it first probably like crossed your mind, like, oh, maybe I am going to have a bit of a change here?
Yeah, well, I guess I was probably the same. I love the club up there. I love the boys. I've got so many good mates up there that'll be lifelong friends, and I love playing alongside them. And I guess, obviously wanted to probably be that one club player up there. I know I've played a handful of games with the Dragons, but pretty much started my career up at the Cowboys. I wanted to stay there. And it probably wasn't until, probably not long before I signed with the Roosters that that sort of thought process changed. Obviously, like I said, after I was coming off contract, let me think, what year is it now? Yeah, end of 2025. And so end of 2024 season, November 1, I was able to start negotiating, just seeing what interest was out there, probably with no intention to leave the Cowboys until speaking to the Roosters. And like I said, it was just eye-opening for me and just so exciting just hearing to the way, Trent and Nick spoke and the way they envisioned their club and what they saw I could be adding to the club and I guess for me aligned with a lot of the stuff the way I wanted to play my football and a lot of the stuff I wanted to do in my career kind of just sort of fell into place pretty well and I guess that for me was probably the biggest decision and that's where things got pretty serious from then where I saw myself leaving the Cowboys obviously, after chatting to my partner and family and making that decision, it probably wasn't long after those conversations that we made it official, and I was signed with the Roosters, and so before that, a lot of it, I was loving my time up at the Cowboys, loving my footy up there, and like I said, I got so many good mates up there that it's obviously going to be sad leaving, but I've got a lot of mates down this way and excited to play with the boys I do know from the Roosters and the rest of the boys I'm keen to meet. Yeah,
and the famous Trent Robinson carpet rollout. Did you get the famous carpet rollout of going to his house for a feed or anything like that, or what was the chat like? I know any player that gets recruited to the Roosters, it's either Politis or Trent Robinson where they go, mate, when he spoke to me about footy, I was just like, wow.
Yeah, well, definitely. I don't know. Yeah, what to call a red carpet layout, whatever you mean. But
well, I more mean just he's so good at showing what's great about the Roosters to people.
Yes, mate. I think I went to his house and had a chat. And it was just the way he spoke about football and the Roosters and his passion for the club and what it meant to him and the way he wanted to play football and what his vision was for the team and myself in that team. I guess you could say if that's the red carpet you're talking about, then he did. So
they're good at getting their men. Let's put it that way.
He was mate. Yeah, just the way he spoke was just just sort of hit a spot with me that really aligned with everything I see with rugby league and that was the most exciting part. I think obviously the Roosters themselves are an attractive brand and a team you want to be a part of and then for that to then go into talking about footy and that sort of thing to then really align with how I wanted to play my football and be a part of that team that the way they wanted to play was just the icing on the cake and just really where things fell into place after that.
Were you you're an Origin player when this all happened? Were you surprised though at how big of a deal it was in rugby league at the time at all? Or not surprised, but I guess it was a pretty big deal. It was a pretty big deal when it all happened.
I guess probably a lot of people had the same sort of view as you is, probably just you kind of, you get up to the Cows. A lot of people just sort of, it's a great place to live up there. It's such easy living. So, and it's a good club. So people just fall into you get up there, you play your footy and you sort of, just, I guess, get on with it. So, so I guess probably was a bit of a shock when I was leaving that I wasn't just staying there for my whole career. And I guess that's probably why. I wasn't surprised when it was a bit of a shock because, I guess a lot of my good mates and that were shocked as well that I hadn't probably told before it came out that, they just assumed I was going to be staying up there. And I guess for myself it was a bit of a shock too when we made that decision. I was obviously, loved my time up there and the decision to move wasn't anything that sort of it kind of did just spark off the back of what we just spoke about. And I guess that's probably why it was such a bit of a surprise to a lot of people is you kind of, people just, when you're playing, there's obviously a lot more to rugby league sometimes and than just sort of being a one club player at the time when you're young, that's what you want to do. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And for me, I'm just excited to go and play with the Roosters now and explore that journey in my career and hopefully go up onwards and upwards from there. So.
And mate, the Cows this year, you guys are such. Well, I say you guys, but technically, have you put on a Roosters training kit yet, mate?
No, not yet.
So I'll say you guys still.
Yeah, sweet.
Man, such an interesting club and I'm sure you're probably aware of it internally. Like on paper, and not even on paper, there are games where the Cowboys come out and you guys are just like, this is champagne footy. This is the best stuff you can watch in rugby league. And then there are other games where you're just like, what's doing? What do you reckon happened this year?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I guess we had an answer for that. Hopefully it wouldn't be rocks and diamonds.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, definitely internally, it's something we're well aware of is how rocks and diamonds we were up there. And like you said, we'd have days and even moments in games where we would put on great footy. And I just think, at times we just, like you said, we'd leak too many points or just wouldn't turn up on the day. And I don't know what it was because, I think, I don't know how to, put your finger on it because, I guess sometimes, like you said, I think a lot of it comes down to when we do the style we played up there was very, like you said, champagne footy. But I guess sometimes that is a very rocks and diamonds style of footy. Like I guess when we're scoring out wide, we're throwing fancy plays, I guess, but that can very quickly go the other way. And I think this year we had a lot of errors and that sort of stuff off the back of it. And I think that's kind of where, for me, I guess obviously there's probably definitely smarter blokes than me that would analyse it a lot more and understand. But for me, playing in the team, that's kind of what I put it down to a fair bit is I think how expansive we did play at times wasn't always to beat the best teams on our day. Yeah. I just think there was too many days there where we weren't on our day and the worst teams could beat us. So I think that's because how exciting our football could be. I think we need to probably be better at finding that balance of when we're needing that and when we're not needing that. We just need to get into the grind of a game and just sort of roll through the middle and earn it more. Yeah. That's probably the biggest word. I don't think we earned it enough this year. I think in past years when we've had success is when we've earned the right to play that footy. Whereas I think we were probably a bit too quick to jump the gun and want to play footy without earning the right and tiring their middles out and rolling through the middle.
It's a double-edged sword, eh? There's a lot of teams that would kill for, Drinky out the back doing crazy, or Walshy or whatever. And so, sometimes when you've got that much strike, you just go, stuff it. Let's just get it done because we can.
Exactly right. And there's, like you said, at times we can get it done. I think, and it's just, I think when you get into the big games and against the big teams, when they do just play the long game and just tire your middle out, and then they have that also that killer blow too. Whereas I think we had that killer blow, and then at times we had that hard edge too. But that was probably the consistency we lacked. Is just being consistent enough and probably patient enough to just wear teams down to then throw that killer blow. I think sometimes we just wanted to throw that killer blow too early and it just wasn't working for us this year.
It's it sounds like I'm talking all negative, but I'm not, because we'll get to the good years at the Cowboys for sure. It's just more recent, because what is so I always found strange with the Cowboys as well is you had years where your defense was unbelievable, especially the first year. Was it the first year Payten came, or maybe the second year Toddy Payten came?
Second year, 22.
Just ruthless defense, and even moments where defense was ruthless. And then other than I'm assuming it's a little bit to like when a team wins a premiership, you ask them what was different, and they go, "It was just a feeling." I can't tell you what was. We trained exactly the same.
Yeah,
it was just something about the boys, and I'm assuming like, or not even win a premiership when you have a good year. I'm assuming 2022. If you said, "Well, what was different between 22 and now?" We trained the same, but just for some reason it clicked. Then it's not. Is that the case? Like, or did things change? Defensive systems change at all, or?
I think Dean Young was a big part. He was our defensive coach at the time. And I had a lot to do with Dean Young. I was at the Dragons with him as a young bloke when I come through and learned a lot off him as a young fella. And then he came up to the Cows not long after I got there. And he's a great coach. And his defensive system was unreal. And I think that's like when they first come up, Toddy and Dean and Steve Georgalis got up there. Obviously, probably took a year there. 21, we weren't great still, but 22, things started to click a little bit more. And like you said, there's probably a bit more of a feeling there, and just everyone was buying in, and everything was going really well. And the defensive system was really good and clear. It wasn't anything too extravagant, pretty simple. And I think a lot of I guess in the middle it doesn't change too much, but a lot of the edges were sort of
because this year edge defense, like it just didn't seem to click for you at all.
Yeah, it just sort of it was hard to so many different combinations. I guess this year,
and young as well, super young.
Exactly, and I think I guess then too in 22 we had a lot of boys hitting their straps too, and boys at the prime in their career, and then there's been a lot of change since then, which has been hard. So I think especially like you said, edge defensively, like I think there was one edge I can't quite remember, like left or right, but the centre wing combo was different most weeks. It was just hard to sort of, especially for that half. Whether it was, I think even Tommy through the year swapped between halves because he played with a few different halves there. He played with Cliffo and Tom Duffy and a couple others. Jacko was in there for a bit.
Derby. Sorry,
there were so many. Braden Burns come in for a bit. Like
was Valamate still there at that stage?
Semi come in at the end of the year, so he's another one. So we had a lot of different outside backs. And
Murray was injured for a while too. Muzz,
so obviously Muzz is such a great player, and he is obviously so much of a reason we are such a good defensive edge on his edges because his reads are unreal, and he's such a smart footballer, and I think a lot of his reads too. And just his calmness, he's just a very calm bloke and good to be around. So I think we missed that a bit, and just a few injuries throughout the year just sort of lacked a little bit, and just the difference in cohesion. You can't just I think that's a big thing too when teams win comps I know you can't put it down to that because every team has injuries, but you seem to have a fair few less when teams win comps. They just sort of,
absolutely. And when Penrith have the least injuries over the last 4 or 5 years.
Exactly right. I was about to say, when you're winning games, the game's a lot easier.
Mate.
So I guess so.
It's a part of footy, like I think a lot of, not a lot of, maybe some fans don't realise is like, if you walk off and you've lost a game and you see a guy that you used to play footy with and you smile, you shake his hand, they don't see the next 4 days where you're so depressed at training. You're like the negative energy, like everyone is like dreading going into training and they're at home. Yeah. You're wigging out about it, all the errors you made. Like it really does take a toll of the losses. And I'm not sooking it all. I'm just saying like, I think some fans aren't aware of that.
Yeah, like it definitely is. Like, like you said, you sort of, especially for us and for myself, like I come through a lot of the junior systems down here in Sydney, so I got a lot of mates here at Sydney clubs, and you don't get too often of a chance to see them when you're obviously so busy in your own lives up there at Townsville, and they are down here. You see them after a game, so you want to chat, but you're right. Like you're hiding that internally because you just want to see your mate and see how he's been. But definitely, as soon as you get off that field into the sheds, especially for us, travelling back up to Townsville's a pretty quiet trip after
that plane ride home.
It's a pretty quiet trip. Yeah, so a few headphones on and hoodies on. So so it's hard. You definitely, especially like there's weeks that you don't even want to show your face. You've had bad losses and you sort of just you want to get to training and get it done because you're right. The mood at training's not the same because everything's getting criticised because you had the loss, whereas the same things that happen when you win. It's just. Obviously, winning masks a lot of things. So
the worst thing about footy is like I'm not saying it's as bad as it's fighting, but imagine getting bashed up and you lost because like that's when you walk off a footy field, you feel like you just got in a fight.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah.
So you're on a plane on the way home. Your head's hurting, your knees hurting.
Yeah.
You're like, bruh, my back's killing me. I just want to get home to sleep. And you're fully sad. Like yeah. Look, as I said, I'm not sooking because players get paid really well for it, and that's why you get paid well.
Yeah,
but
yeah. There's obviously so many highs to it as well. Yeah, but the lows. It's funny, but. In saying that, it's those lows and those sorts of moments that sort of make you as a team and as a player and as a person. Like, I think, those times you look back on, like you said, like there's some funny memories I've got of some boys, like in myself, like you're sitting there, you're sore and you're in the airport, and you're just tired, you're leaning on each other in stopovers in Brisbane airport, just kind of like you can't help but laugh. You're you're just feeling sorry for yourself. It's a funny game. Yeah. But then the next week you're winning and
and everything's great.
Everything's great.
Yeah, everything's
the plane
fine.
ride's unreal. You're sort of sitting there, your chest high. So it's obviously there's two flip sides of the coin. So it's definitely you get your good with your bad.
Introducing Surfshark, a VPN service that bypasses geo restrictions to access blocked content with enhanced privacy and security. And if you're not using one yet, you're leaving yourself open to tracking, geo restrictions, and price hikes based on your location. It's December, it's travel time. A lot of you guys will be heading overseas, but there's certain websites you won't be able to access out of the country. Surfshark's VPN allows you to access those sites from anywhere in the world with 4,500 servers in over 140 different locations. I went to Vegas earlier in the year and I used a VPN to access all my shows as usual over there. Not only that, Surfshark VPN offers very good privacy and security. Once your device connects to the internet, all the information is encrypted or blurred out. That way, your online activity is hidden and is completely safe. Matty is off to Bali in a few weeks, an extended time, so he'll be on top of that as well. Another great feature for Surfshark VPN is you can set up one account and use it on unlimited devices. Matty literally came back from Thailand last week and was able to set up his fiance's device as well. Surfshark VPN have more products worth checking out, including Surfshark Antivirus, a security tool that protects against malware, viruses, and other threats with features like real-time scanning, webcam protection, and ransomware protection. So if you're heading overseas or want to beef up your online security, Surfshark VPN is the way to go. Surfshark are offering a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. We have a fantastic offer available for the bloke community. Head to www.surfshark.com/bloke. Use code bloke at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. The link can be found in the show notes, as well as the code and instructions on how to take advantage of this offer. A massive thank you to Surfshark for partnering with the show. We really appreciate it. Now, Todd Payten come to the club, 21, I think. Now, like, I guess, there was probably, I don't know if it was internal, but externally with the media, there's a lot of pressure on him this year. What was it like being under him as a coach and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, Toddy was a good coach. Like you said, when I first got up there, I had Paul Green, and he was the reason I went to the club. After my chats with him, he was unreal, and was excited to get up there. And not long into that, I think it was only 6 months into my time at the Cowboys that he was released by the club, and Todd come in, and when Toddy and that got there, it was really good. Obviously it was sad to sort of not be under Greeny there for a period there, but obviously with the fresh face and footy goes on, Toddy was really good, and so my time up there under Toddy has been really good. So he's a good coach, and I really learned a lot off him in my time up there, and had a lot of success with him up there at the Cowboys. Obviously, was never able to win a comp or anything like that, but definitely. Took my football to another level, and obviously, a lot of thanks for Toddy and the coaching staff up there in the club.
Is he as grumpy at training as he is in press conferences? Because he is so grumpy at press conferences.
I've heard that, mate. I don't often watch the press conferences, but no.
He needs grumpy coffee, mate. He needs to turn that frown upside down. But I wonder whether it's just a give him nothing kind of attitude. I'm not sure.
Probably, yeah. No, he's not probably not as grumpy as a lot of people think. He's probably that sort of attitude. Yeah, he's probably more harder to read than anything. So probably that sort of rather than grumpy, he's just probably not giving much away, keeping close to his chest. But because he's not grumpy like that.
Oh, is he? Because like seriously, some of his press conferences are like, mate, you're the grumpiest bloke I've ever met. And I'm like, but he was a loved player by the boys, so there's no way that he would be like that all the time. I get why you do it though. If you're passionate as a coach in a press conference, you're just asking for headlines. Like they're just going to come.
It's obviously it's a hard gig being a head coach.
Mate, never.
you got to give enough away so you don't get in trouble, and not too much so you don't get in trouble. Yeah, it'd be a hard line to walk. Yeah.
And so I guess during the year when there was pressure on him, like what's that like as a you're a senior player at the club for a couple of years now, I'd assume. What's that like? Kind of you're trying to get through what's happening right now with the wins and the losses, but at the same time there's articles and all that coming out. What's that like as a player?
Yeah, it's obviously hard. What's it called? Yeah, like you said, like we were just speaking about before, the losses. Like I guess as you become a senior player, they probably hurt a little bit more because you feel very responsible for that. As a young bloke, you're kind of just trying to do your thing in the team and make sure you're doing your job right. Whereas I think when you become a senior player, you're making sure you're doing your job right, but then you're trying to worry about not as much other people's job, but the team as a whole. If it's not going well, you're trying to find reasons why. You're not thinking. Yeah, your first look's obviously at yourself and making sure you're getting your job done, but then you got to also look at why it's still not working if you are getting your job done. So I think that's probably where a lot of stress and pressure comes from as well. Is you ride those highs and probably those losses a lot more than you do. You probably ride the highs a little less and the losses even more. So when the older you get and the more senior you get in the team. So I think, it's obviously wasn't a great year for us and the Cows up there, but you're just sort of making sure you sort of get things right at pre-season and training each week and for the next year. So like I guess each week at training this year we were trying to do whatever we could and that was never a problem because I think when you lose and you're training harder. So and we were training hard, trying to do as much as we could, but it just wasn't our season. It wasn't meant to be this year. And
was there anything different? Because I remember a few years ago when you had that good year, 22, where a lot of the boys like, mate, that preseason was like crazy. Did the preseason change at all? Or
no, they're pretty blueprint, copy and paste, like pretty similar for that one. Obviously, like a lot of coaches do and a lot of people do in life. I guess you find success in one way, you kind of just try to replicate that as much as you can. And so I think we did that, pretty well since that 22. Definitely, 22 was definitely a step up from 21 preseason. I think that was probably a bit of the shock to a lot of the boys then is it was a bit harder, but then from then on, they've all been pretty similar.
Yeah, okay.
Especially, I think the probably only thing that they changed was the hill we used to do in 22. That was when they first brought that in, but then the boys had kind of worked out how to run it, and they'd be training for that over the off season.
So
that's all boys would be training. No one would be down at the field running. They'd be all doing the hill. So boys were getting better times than ever. So I think they stopped throwing it as much as
they. 1.2.
Yeah, boys should start training for it because they know it's hard at the start, but then they just try to.
Like if you get that base in a 1.2, you can pretty much cruise them. Like as I said, you got to get the base first.
Yeah.
But once you get that base and that ability just to kind of like explode out of the line each 20, you're pretty sweet in the 1.2 these days.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of it's still always
Don't get me wrong.
Still always a nervous.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what it is, and you finish it and you go, it's not as bad as I build up in my head. It's always one of those things. All those fitness tests, you always should build them up more in your head and. That was the thing with probably that was the biggest change and why there's probably a bit of talk about our preseason was that was the thing they threw the curveball.
Yep.
And after that they're all pretty similar. Our training was just as tough and probably tougher throughout the year because we were losing. So after that 22 season, so I guess 23 was definitely a dive off from 22. We got a little bit better in 24, but then back down again. Like I think. Fluctuated as our games have been, that seasons have been as well. So I think, I don't know.
You can't explain it.
I can't
explain it. You would have
so,
had the answers to change it.
Yeah, exactly right. So I don't know. I don't notice anything changed, but no, it's just sort of, just the way it was. And no, obviously, like I said, I love my time up there. I've enjoyed it, but all my focus now is just on the Roosters now and going forward. So. I'm going to put that to bed a little bit now and just focus on the Roosters.
Mate, take us back to a young fella. So obviously born essentially South Gold Coast, but we'll say Northern New South Wales. But you ended up at Endeavour Sports High. How's that happen?
Yeah, so I was, grew up in a little town called Moolumbar, just inland from Tweed Heads, like right on the border there.
Just south of Gold Coast.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
you used to play soccer all the time. Moolumbar?
Moolumbar, soccer travelled a bit. We used to play New South Wales comp still in rugby league. we didn't travel up there.
It's like that's where you get a lot of good wood from, isn't it? Northern New South Wales, or like
could do.
I'm pretty sure that's from Northern New South Wales.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
Well,
I'm talking out my butt. But
no, you'd have more idea than I would. I got no idea. But yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of forests.
'Cause I remember when we used to play Wollongong, I think it was like their soccer ground was like surrounded by forests or something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, like a lot of forest land around.
okay.
Yeah, we're out in sticks there. So yeah, probably doesn't. Yeah, a lot of trees. So I'd say there probably is some good wood in there.
Mate, I'm just a country lad. That's
Yeah,
why
I didn't
know
go
that
around
kind of
knocking on trees, mate. But there probably was some good wood down there. So, but yeah, that's where I started. My journey down there and just playing footy there for Moolumbar Colts and just local league down there. And eventually,
was it always footy or did you play multiple sports?
It was kind of always rugby league as my main sport. I played a lot of sports outside of that, like off season. I played touch, six-a-side soccer.
Yep.
Anything I could get in at school to get a day off. So I played a lot of sports, but rugby league was probably the main one from a decent maybe 6 or 7 onwards. So I guess so that was that was always the main sport, and the main goal was to play in the NRL and play for New South Wales and Australia and those sorts of things. And they were always the dreams and still are. But so I started that journey and until I guess I was 15. My dad's a builder and work around that area was a little bit quiet at the time, and I guess my brother had just been signed to Newcastle, so he was down there in the SG ball competition. So
what's your brother's name?
Reece Robson.
Yeah.
So he was down there at the Knights, and he was what's it called, and so he was down there, and then I guess with work getting quieter, we had probably an option, Dad, like travelling to Brizzy for work or heading down to Sydney. So I think that was the move for us. Is I had an uncle and a bit of family down here, and that so. Ended up moving down this way, and mum and dad were probably down here for a couple of years, and then before they end up moving back up. But that's kind of what got my start. Was when I got down here. Pete Mulholland, he was at the Knights. Pete Mulholland back in the day, recruitment officer. He was there and got my brother to the Knights, and he just actually changed when we'd got to Sydney to the Dragons, and he obviously knew my brother through the Knights and the family through then, and knew I played football, so reached out and got me a trial at the Dragons, and that was pretty much he got me my start in any NRL system, and
So did you make rep sides or anything like that growing up?
I was always always in the Titans academies and that sort of thing. I used to travel up and do the summer schools and that sort of stuff. And
so you're always in that tier of player that's like, there might be some interest here, or might be interest here, but he was the one that kind of directed you.
It was kind of, I guess, I was just probably more of an age when I got down here that footy started getting more serious. I guess there was a comp and that sort of thing. So I guess I was before I'd moved down, I was in the Gold Coast, whatever they call it.
South Coast rep side?
Is it Gold Coast green or gold in the Harold Matt? What do they call it? Yeah, Cyril Connell up there. Yeah, so it was just started that, then a preseason for that before I moved down.
It's interesting you were in the Gold Coast. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that was the nearest NRL team, mate. I had to travel up. But that was all the young stuff at that age, and and then it wasn't until I come down here and then I sort of got that trial that I kind of started, and I think I played a year young SG ball at the Dragons.
And SG's 18s at the time?
18s, yeah. So I was, so I must have been 16 when I moved down and played at 16, turned 17. That age. So then I, pretty much he got me my start there at the Dragons, and then loved my time at the Dragons. So
was Mary the coach at the time?
Mary was the coach there, yeah.
Did you spend some time with Mary as a coach?
Yeah. Mary's unreal.
What are your thoughts? I think he's a great coach.
Great coach. I love my time under Mary. He was awesome. So
I played under him too. I got so hard.
That was almost like as hard as moving down into the Roosters from the Cowboys. I was in tears when I had to leave. When I had to leave the Dragons, I was just and it was just purely opportunity to so I come through, like I was saying, I come through all the juniors and that there until I was under Mary in the NRL squad, and I think I played maybe 9 games in NRL for the Dragons, and before I moved up the Cows. But I loved it there. I had so many good mates. I still do have so many good mates down there, and love living down. Well, I lived in Caringbah, but so I love my time at the Dragons, and it was such a big decision for me. As a young bloke moving however far up there, it was going to be different to anything I'd ever known. But I So what's it called? I that was a hard decision for me to get up there, but obviously one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. But I met my partner up there, and now I have a little one with her, and obviously my time at the Cowboys was unreal. So
well, walk us through. So you get down there, you played Jersey Flegg a year early, and were you 9 the whole time? What, were you a hooker the whole time?
Yeah, at that age,
Okay.
I probably a bit younger. I was like a bit between positions. Just I didn't play we didn't play in a strong team growing up in Wollongbar. So I guess you almost just played wherever we needed players that weekend or so just kind of played a little bit all over, and it's probably at that age definitely I come in as a hooker and come through I guess always as a hooker at the Dragons from 18s onwards, and then went into the 20s where I had and that's probably under 20s is probably where my football probably went to another level. I guess under 18s I was good enough to be in the SG ball side, but probably wasn't
top tier of your age group.
Top tier of my age group, really. That I felt like I was top tier. I still kind of made like a few of the under 18s Origin sides and those sorts of things, but
so maybe you probably were, but you didn't feel like it. Maybe the confidence wasn't there.
Yeah, probably. Sorry. No, because I was a year young. Sorry, it was under 20s when I made under 18s Origin. So, so sorry. When I was a year young SG ball, I probably wasn't top tier. Just sort of playing that comp. But then the next year, I probably 20s is where I reckon my football sort of started going to another level there, and then that was when I was 18 playing 20s, and I made I was trying to think then, started making rep sides. So that's when because that's when I guess making those sides, you start to feel like probably you are top tier in your age group, that sort of thing. So that's kind of where I guess I started making things, and probably football started going to another level there. So I think I owe so much of my footy to all the coaches and that I've had at the Dragons and that sort of thing. Like they sort of every age group I had a good coach and so Matt Head was my 20s coach, and so he was. I think
he's been coach for a while now.
Yeah, he's up at Wynnum now, I think.
Yeah,
or one of the Q Cup sides. Yeah, out there. Yeah, Wynnum, I think. He was unreal. He was my coach in 20s and at the Dragons, and he was so good for me. And then progressed under Mary. What's it called? Where I end up playing a bit of cup and a bit of NRL there. But and Matt Head had then been he was my coach then for New South Wales Cup as well while I was playing. So
when you made the under 18s New South Wales side, were you already a part of the first grade squad, or you weren't yet?
No, I wouldn't have been. No.
So do you remember when you got the call to say that you'd made, because it's like when you're that age, like now you've played NRL, you've played for your state. Have you played for Australia yet?
No.
So it's like, people would think that, you've done such bigger things, that's probably not a big deal. But when you take yourself back to a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old, making these sides is like world shattering.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah. Like you look at it now and you get like, I'm still like so grateful to be a part of those teams. But you look back now and realize it doesn't mean anything.
Because there's plenty of blokes that made that side that never played in a row.
Exactly right. And plenty of blokes that never played those sides that are top of NRL. So you look at it and you realise it doesn't mean it much, but at the time, it's everything. That's all you want to play is those teams, those games, and that was the first Origin game I'd ever been to. Was the one I played before in under 18s. I'd never got to watch an Origin live before. So
what year was this?
18. It would have been.
So
2016 maybe.
So this would have been still in Queensland's. No, so 14 gets broken, but then they win another 3, I think. So this would have been, I think 16 or 17 is when they started winning again, New South Wales, wasn't it? 18. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I can't remember on the series back then, but I do remember as an 18-year-old getting booed out of the stadium.
So Suncorp?
At Suncorp. It was at Suncorp. I played 3 junior Origin stuff, and they were all at Suncorp.
Far out.
And I remember, we obviously got to stay and watch the game. That was just as good as playing. Just being able to stay and watch my first Origin game live, was unreal. And we back then, probably in my age group, I had a lot of great players in my age group, and we were lucky enough. I think we pumped Queensland in the under 18s, and we're sitting there happy and And then obviously watching the main game, I think Queensland were winning, and it was obviously not easy to watch. And we just had to leave, like purely had the bus ready. We were probably leaving 10 minutes early, but obviously walking out of Suncorp Stadium with all your Blues kit on 10 minutes early.
Getting hammered.
Yeah, getting hammered.
It's like 18-year-olds.
We want like.
That's so, I
Just
still
funny, isn't
respect
it?
I
Yeah.
still respect it.
Yeah, but no,
We
I was.
won and we're getting hammered like we're bums. That's so good.
It was funny. I don't know who won the series or whatever, but I remember that game. Queensland won because we were leaving 10 minutes early just to beat traffic and that. But that wasn't a good decision.
Imagine hammering her like you're a grown man, just hammering a 17-year-old.
The whole team is just getting sprayed, walking up these steps and just going, oh, how good's this? Suncorp.
Oh, that's great stuff. Just hammering teenagers that can't even go out and drink yet. Allegedly, of course. I tell you, my best Origin moment watching. So we played. We didn't actually, no, so the first year, so it was under 18s Origins or 19s. I think it was under 19s at that stage because there was no under 20s. Anyway, so I was a year younger, so me and Darbs and that made the Queensland side that's just under the actual Queensland side.
Yep.
And then the next year we made the actual Queensland side. But we played like Western Australia or whatever. Anyway, after the game, we got to sit like literally on the sideline, essentially, like pretty much. And it was a game, and it was we were sitting exactly where Matty Bowen took that intercept.
There you go.
Yeah, crazy. Such a good memory. So you make that side, and when did you first get called up into, the first grade squad? Do you remember it all?
That was probably the end of that season. So that was my first under 20 season. Yeah, I was 18, so that was my first year of under 20s. It was the end of that season. We didn't go too bad, and like, I look at it now and I understand it, but back in the day, like I couldn't believe how we didn't win the comp that year. I had a great under 20 side. I had so many great footballers, but we actually got beat by the Roosters. And funny enough, but you look at so many of the players now, like just obviously killing it in the NRL, and so you understand why. But back then, I thought like we had such a good side. Like had Matt Duffy at the time was just untouchable in 20s. Like Jay Field, like so many boys that are still killing it now over in the Super League, but. So many good players coming through, and we had a really good side. So I was lucky to be a part of a good side too. Obviously, it helped so much. But so it was the end of that year. We did pretty well. We lost the prelim, so didn't quite make the grand final. But I think it wasn't long after that. I think we had like a Mad Monday and that after that, and had a few days, and then got a call from it was I need to remember. I was just meet so many. Different years. I think it was Ian Millwood at the time was the recruitment there at the Dragons, and just sort of gave me a call and just sort of congratulated me on the season and just sort of said that there's probably maybe 4 of us that were going up into the NRL or just to get an NRL preseason. Like I was still 20s contracted just to go up and do an NRL preseason. So it must have been 2015, sorry, because 2016 was. No, it was 2016. End of 2016, my first preseason. So
timing would add up if you made New South Wales under 18. It makes sense that you made a first grade squad after that.
Yeah, so it's into 2016. preseason. So that was my first sort of.
Do you remember the first preseason?
Oh, mate, that was my hardest yet. Like I've had some hard preseasons since, but that first one, I don't know if it was. I still don't think it was because I was young. Like I know.
Okay, so this is a tough one.
Yeah, I know. As you get older, you probably just mentally handle it a lot better, but obviously probably when you're younger you physically handle it a lot better, but
just the impact of it. You're just like,
I don't know, like I think what I did too, like you still always sort of train your off season, so it's not so tough when you get back. But I remember like when I got the call, I was like, shit, I've got to impress this preseason. I don't know why. I was 18. I was never going to get in. Like I was here in my head going, I need to try and impress this preseason. So I pretty much my whole off season was doing a preseason, like because obviously they send you out programs to keep fit. I was doing every single program and then probably a little bit extra just to make sure I was as fit as I could. So it was probably the worst decision I ever made because I hadn't had a rest that year.
By the time you get to like December, you're wrecked.
And that's 20s preseason is because your trials pretty much. You haven't got your squad and you're not picking your team. It's you're just into your trials to try and cut the team down to make a team. So you start your footy straight after Christmas, whereas NRL was a bit different. So I was flying. Started my NRL preseason like really well in all the tests and that, going well, like that, still going pretty good, like starting to wear by Christmas, just like get to Christmas, sweet, like got that Christmas break. I was like, oh, thank God, like I was wrecked, needed the 2 weeks. didn't do a lot, like just kind of just did what I had to do. So like the programs or whatever they give you, just to sort of make sure I was right to get back into it. And but yeah, and then getting back into, I was pretty much thought preseason was done then. Like you're just used to the 20s preseasons.
Oh my God.
I was thinking, I was like, we must be getting into like footy stuff soon, like because we didn't like it was back in the days with the MAS, like it was just long running. Like it's changed a bit now. It's sort of
so MAS, for just for people listening, is basically you'll jog 50 meters and then you might not sprint, but like at 85% for 100 meters, and you just keep going in circles and circles. I don't know, you might have done longer than that.
Yeah, similar stuff, but that sort of stuff, just linear running, like long running, and that was just K's in the legs. Like back then, it's changed a bit now. It's obviously a bit shorter, quicker speed, like agility sort of fitness.
Well, that's good for a base fitness when you first get back, just to give your body a foundation. But it's really not footy specific.
Well, I think that's what's changed. Is obviously you got so many sports scientists and analysts who understand it so much better than I do, and they've obviously identified that it's probably more footy related, the quicker, sort of shorter spurts, that sort of stuff. But back 2016, we're just doing so much long running, and that was the thing. I think every team was doing it back then at that time, and that was me. I got short little legs, so I was pretty fit, but I had short little legs, so the long stuff got me. I'm pretty good at the short, quick turn and stuff.
Up and back 10 minutes,
up and back, I'm all right at that. But the long stuff was getting me, and I got to Christmas just thinking, all right, we'll be into some footy stuff now, because we didn't touch a lot of footy before that, and and then I think when I got back, that's probably when it kind of broke me, when I was just we were just getting out there every day, and it was still just the cones were set up at the end of the session, so we would have, obviously like most teams do, you have your full session, and then at the end you got your block where you're just getting
I don't even want to think about it, bro. It makes me feel sick.
And it was probably then when I was just straight off the field, like shower, lunch, sleep. Because obviously, as a young bloke, you're in the last group for gym, massage,
and your body is just like it's like, I think I've said this quite a few times before, but like especially for young blokes, preseason's about breaking them and then rebuilding them all the way back up from them. And for two reasons: you want to obviously mold them in the athlete that you want, but also what young kid's going to sulk and not be able to cop the touch, and we need to weed them out before. And I think that's what a lot of the stuff, it feels pointless, but really what they're trying to do is break you all the way down so they can build you back up, but also see who is actually going to throw the towel in.
Yeah, probably looking back now, it makes me feel better. Makes me feel better about it now.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it at the time.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness. But So, but that, I just remember that, like, and there was, like I said, there was 4 of us or 4 or 5 of us that come up from the 20s into that NRL that year, and like back then at the Dragons, we didn't they just had the top 30 seats in the sheds. They didn't have any extra seats, so we'd be in the 20 shed up the back of it, and it was just all 4 of us just asleep on our locker, like just for about an hour or 2 until we had to had alarms set to then we got to go do wrestle and gym, and then get all that sort of stuff done. So it was just pretty much, and I'd be straight home. Like there was a day there, like where I actually went and lived with Blake Laurie down at the Dragons in Shell Harbour there for a bit, because there was a day I was driving back from training and I fell asleep at the lights in the car. Obviously, like Sydney traffic. Been a bit more time since I've seen that up at the Cowboys, but you'd obviously stop at the lights, but there was a few lights before you'd be able to go through. So we're probably sitting there for maybe five minutes, and I've just fallen asleep at the wheel. Yeah, and actually. A guy just come out of the car and had to knock on the window. He's like, I was that asleep that like a beep didn't wake me up just at the lights, because they'd obviously gone. He's come knocked on my window. I was like, shit, panicked, sped off, like just like it's so embarrassing. And that was like, I was like spoke to mum and dad and that sort of stuff, and they're like, I'll probably get closer to the train, and that's because obviously it's about an hour drive home, like of an arvo. And
also like if there's traffic, it's an hour and 45 before you know it. Like because you would have been up at about 5 probably leaving there.
Yeah. So they were long days. Like because I guess why I stayed up there was obviously where we first moved, so I sort of knew the area around Cronulla and Caringbah.
And some of the other boys would live in there too.
Some of the other boys would live there, and I started, at the start, like with Dragons and Illawarra, they're split. So with SG Ball, I was at the Dragons, so it was all Cogra based. So I started in Sydney, and like I said, all the boys I come through is like Matt Duffy, Luce Lua, those sort of boys were all Dragons as well. So we always like carpool down and that together. So that was kind of that was kind of a point which just sort of why I stayed in Sydney for as long as I did, and even travelling the hour or so to train, and it was just pretty normal. I think a lot of the boys still do it, but
Yeah.
as a young bloke, you probably need to sleep a bit more.
You do. In a perfect world, because I used to travel from the Gold Coast to Brisbane as early on, and then I eventually moved up when I had more. Like, I guess had a bigger contract. Don't get me wrong. Big contract back in those days was like 50K. But yeah, just even, you know what else is? It's a sleep for sure, but it's also just after all that training, having your body sitting like that for an hour and a half or so, it's just each way. So you're looking at 3 hours of essentially sitting like that. It's just not good for the back, not good for the hip flexors, all that kind of stuff.
No, all of it. And I guess as you get older, you probably look at that stuff more and worry about it a little bit more. But you sort of, you're young, you probably just think, I've just got to get through it. You're trying to keep your head right more than anything.
Bro.
So I guess, now you see it, obviously, for all the soft tissue injuries, it couldn't be worse sitting in a car for that long, cramped up after you've just been, running all day. So, so I think, for that was a lot easier. Just before I moved to the Cows, I was down there in Shell Harbour for a bit, and what's it called? That made it a lot easier. And by then I was probably my third or fourth preseason by then. So that was obviously the second one was easier and the third one was easier again. Yeah. Not in terms of the training, just in terms of mentally. Just sort of knew what to expect. And you also I guess the feeling of as a young bloke, you're trying to prove yourself every day.
The anxiety of
anxiety. I think that's probably burned so much energy. As a young bloke, you're not comfortable with anyone. Like every time I'd walk past Mary back then, I'd just be
head down.
Hey mate, how you going? I just not wanted to.
And I think you get to a point as you get a little bit older of like, all I can do is my best, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to go and rip in until I can't, go anymore. And that's whatever the result is, it'll take care of itself. Whereas when you're young, you're so result based focused.
Yeah,
that you're like, if I don't win this or I don't win that, they're gonna, not think I'm good. Or, there's just so many things.
You're so individual back then too. Like as a young bloke, like you kind of, like you still are. Like everyone's competitive. You're still competing every day out on the field. But I think you learn to be more. Well, like I said before, when you're hitting the losses as when you're getting older and more senior in a team, like you the results are a big part of it, not just your performance. It's the results that matter and your performance. So it's both. So I think as you get older, you kind of see that as a preseason for you all to get to a fit and to a point where you need to get to. You're not just coming in to do your thing and get out of there. So I guess that's where a lot of your head and your thought is somewhere else. It's thinking about how we can get better as football.
Yeah. So
as
true.
A team.
You are very individually focused when you're 18. Like all you're thinking about is your dream, your career,
your game. Like obviously you still do your extras and that after field and working on things you need to work in your game, but that's not what you're thinking about the whole session. You're thinking about what we can do as a team to get better, stick to the game, like the game plans and working on that sort of stuff. So everyone's playing their best footy. And I think, back then you were just going, I don't want to drop a ball and I want to win every fitness test.
Mate. Torture.
That's the thing.
Torture. Mate, take us back to your debut. When you got called up to make your debut, do you remember it?
Yeah, I actually do. It's funny. I still remember it and it'll stick with me forever, I reckon, because we, like I said, like we had a pretty good group coming through the 20s and we pretty much all come into Cup together as well. So we had a pretty good side in Cup too, and we'd lost a few games. So, it was probably like, I guess, if you're not in a good team, you're probably not worrying about it too much. But we'd only probably lost 2 or 3 in a row, which was, just sort of like, a bit weird for like our team and where we sat in the comp. We were like a really good side back then. And
so was it 17 where you was on top of the table like round 10 or something like that? Was it 2017?
That was that year, yeah. So that was that year. Oh, yes. So that was the thing. The NRL were killing it. And Cup, we were going well and then started having a few losses. And I remember there was probably... I was probably at that stage, probably a bit senior, not age or anything, but like just in that Cup side, or have like been like in an NRL squad and been in that Cup side. I guess
a key player to that Cup side.
I guess so. Yeah. That like there was a few of us probably at that sort of level that got called into Mary's office like that day, and we were chatting as a group, and we're all just like, oh shit, this can't be good. Like we've been like having
on the drink or something like that, on the beers, and we've been caught out.
We don't know. Like I was just like, oh, this can't be good. Like because it was just us Cup boys, and like there's probably 4 or 5 of us, and we're going, all right, walk in there, and he's just like, obviously, you've had a couple of losses, like, obviously, if you want to be like, what's it called, pushing your way back into this NRL side because
Yeah.
all the boys around me were all older and they'd all played NRL.
Yep.
And it was like I said, Dufty, Luch, Blake Laurie,
Yep.
Hame Selly, like those sort of boys. So they were all there, and he's just sort of saying like, boys, use this, like you need to get the team back on track. You've had a couple of losses now, like you
Yep.
need to be playing your best football and like
Good communication, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah, like and pushing your case to be putting pressure on to get into the NRL side, like. And he just sort of went around. He said, like, you've all had NRL experience here, except for Robbo. Yours is coming up this weekend.
Oh wow!
And that's kind of how he's. I've zoned out with the rest of the conversation. All I was thinking about is, I was thinking straight away. I thought, like, I can't wait to call me parents and tell them. And then my second thought was, shit, we're versing Melbourne.
Oh no,
That was my second
Melbourne
thought. And I'm
debut.
just thinking, as a hooker, I'm thinking. I was versing Cameron Smith, so that was
wow.
like, obviously a dream come true to be able to make my debut against him. I'm sitting there thinking, so I'd forget about the whole rest of the conversation about the cup side because I'm thinking in my head, I've got to tackle Nelson, tackle Jesse. I'm thinking these boys are all going to be running that big. Kafusi back there, they're all in their prime. Like, best.
Oh, it's the 2017 Storm as well. So like,
Yeah,
this is
they
where
won the comp that year.
Yeah, they killed it. Yeah.
So they were sitting behind Drake. So at the time, Drake was the only one sitting ahead of them. So they were second. I'm thinking, shit. So I was thinking, like, first it was all the excitement. And then as I sat there, the palms started getting sweaty going, all right, okay. And then here we go. So then I was like, obviously straight out of the meeting. And then Mary just sort of said, oh, yeah, boys, like, you can go. Robbo, stay behind. And they, like, congratulated me. Said, mate, like, you're making your debut. And I was thinking, like, this is, unreal. Thanks heaps, mate. Went down, called my parents, obviously excited. But and then that weekend, like, obviously, it was my debut at Cogra, and Cogra was mad. Obviously, you talk to any of the Dragons boys, they'll all have their favourite play. I like playing at Cogra. That was, I guess, I come through St. George, my mates from school, like Endeavour, were all, and D-Lar, went to D-Lar for a bit too. So they were all Cronulla based, so it was close for them. So I love playing at Cogra, and I remember, playing there, and I'm sitting on the bench, and I only ended up playing probably the last, like, 10 or 12 minutes. Like, I didn't play, like...
Yeah.
And, what's it called? Hardly played any of it. And I wasn't expecting to play a lot, but at that stage, shit, I hope I get on.
Yeah,
like,
get on, absolutely.
I'm getting to the end of the game. And, but luckily, like I said, like, and as you know, like, the Drags were killing it that year. Like, they were... I won my debut. Like, we couldn't lose by the time I got on the field, like, against... It's crazy against the Storm who win the comp that year. Like I couldn't lose it from the time I got on. So I got on there and
Mary doesn't get enough credit for how. Like I know, the argument was in the back end of the season fade away a little bit, but he doesn't get enough credit with what he helped build that club to be at the time. In my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, well, they were especially through the period I was there. They were always pretty good. Like they always that was probably where they always had their taper.
Yeah.
That sort of period, that 17, 18, 19 season, like they're always really good to start with. And I still don't know why that was. Like the first year I put it down as a young, but I put it down to the tough preseason.
Of course.
It was too hard.
Of course.
But then the next few years, like when the preseasons were, they handled them a bit better. I was thinking, I don't know. Like I'm not sure what it was. It was good preseason and everything. So I don't know what the taper was. But sorry, back to the debut. Like it was like getting to 10 minutes ago. Shit, I hope I get on here. Just like, call comes down, get the card, I'm walking along the side, just buzzing.
Wow.
Yeah, I still remember, I think I piled on third man. I still remember it. The first tackle was Billy Slater.
No way.
Yeah. I think I chased across like just 3 people. I was just burning energy. I was running around like a headless chook. And what's it called? Yeah, just to sort of, I think I piled on, maybe got legs third man. I was stoked.
Just a flop essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was, I still remember it. Like, and then, obviously we ended up winning that game. Yeah, because I did heaps in that 10 minutes.
Yeah, of
Gets
course.
the win.
It was all you, bro.
Yeah.
Was it like looking up and like Cam Smith's just like looking 10 meters away
it was crazy. That's just, it was probably more, that was probably more after the game when I shook his hand after the game. And
it's almost like they're not a real person before you meet him, mate.
No, 100%. Not because for me, growing up in the Northern Rivers, you don't see an NRL player. It's not like probably
Sydney
boys growing up in Sydney seeing NRL players. Like you just don't see them. The first the first NRL players I'd probably seen up close was when I was training with them. yeah, but to be like Cam Smith and Billy Slater and that, and walking around shaking their hand at the end of the game, and there's thanks for the game, mate. Like thanks for the game, mate. Like just like far out,
Buzzing.
Buzzing. Like they don't know what you're thinking inside your head.
Yeah,
but
of
like,
course. And you just like real calm. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Trying to be cool, but in your got fuck, how good's it? It's like this, and so that was my debut. So that was pretty cool. Like it's pretty sick to be able.
How'd you feel when you got out there? You feel you went all right, or
I did my job in 10 minutes. Yeah, I didn't really do anything flash. Didn't do anything wrong. It was probably all I was trying to do in my debut. Just not do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. So it was sweet. But then I guess that was 2017, and I think the period I played then was because they were going to lose a few to Origin, and that was my next game I played was through the Origin period for them. So.
Okay, so the decision to go to the Cowboys, how did that come about? What was the conversation like? All that good all bad stuff.
Yeah, that was probably a bit more straightforward. That was just purely come down to Cameron McInnes. What's it called? He was the hooker at the time at the Dragons, and he was killing it. So he's a great player. So I just knew for me as a hooker. I was playing like here and there, coming off the bench, playing a bit all over. Just I think played a bit of lock there as well. Just wherever like I got on just at the time, just to sort of play a bit of NRL. Like I was just like wherever you need me, mate, I'm happy to be playing NRL. And but I knew like obviously and wanted to be playing hooker and playing week in week out, and I just knew to be able to get enough game time to hopefully cement that 9 spot for myself. In an NRL team, I'd probably have to go. So that's probably where the talks, just sort of knew coming up toward the end of the 20, probably I think it was the start of that year, to be honest. I knew at that point that the next year I was off contract. And I think at the start of 2019 season, pre-season, I just spoke to my manager and just sort of said, look, can you put like any like feelers out, or is there any like interest or whatever that might be looking for? Because my pathway here is probably blocked. So for me to get some regular NRL as starting hooker or eventually be starting hooker, I need to sort of go elsewhere. And he's like, no worries. And I was lucky enough that I had a little bit like of interest at the time, but I guess. Cowboys were probably the one that stood out to me the most. Greeny was unreal, just chatting to him. And, Peter Parr was up there at the time. So, spoke to them both up there and hadn't even been to Townsville, really. I'd been there, played a 20s game, that was it. And then, like, all my decision was, like, and all it's ever been really is just on footy, where I want to play my footy and where I think it's going to be my best footy's going to be played at is like kind of how I always just made my decisions and so that was pretty much happened real quick. I was just like spoke to them on the phone, like FaceTime or whatever, Zoom call or whatever, and
didn't call it Zoom back then.
Hey, I don't even know what it was. Skype, probably, don't know. And just it was actually at a cafe in Gaimere, because that's where I was living in Canberra at the time. Used to meet my manager there, and just called them on the phone and pretty much just sort of everything they sort of said was we're looking forward for you to come up here and obviously start under Jakey and Granville up there and that.
The great utility Jakey. One of the goats.
No, he's one of the best blokes I've ever met in rugby league.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Legend of. He's at the Broncos and I was at the Broncos.
Yes, true,
Mate, legend of a
guy. He's unreal and so that was kind of the plan for me to come up there and play and learn off Jakey, and then eventually I guess the plan for them was for me to be their starting 9. So I guess that was all I wanted to hear as a young bloke, is just not saying I had the 9 or anything like that, or even playing hooker, but just get an opportunity a pathway to maybe if I play good enough football, get there. That's all I needed. Just knew that I was going to get enough opportunity to play some first grade football. Play some first grade football to eventually hopefully get that spot, and that's kind of so that's kind of where it went. So.
What was the convo like? Was Mary still at the club then, or had he already moved on?
No, Mary was still there. So
what was the convo like with him?
That was tough. Yeah. That was hard. I guess like I'm pretty stubborn though. Like as a person, like once my like decisions made, like it was made. So I kind of made, and I knew like it'd be easy to be like that. I think with like your managers too, like they're pretty good. They've handled it so many times before with players in probably harder situations. So I would sort of lean on him a bit on how's the best way to handle it. And obviously once kind of I knew I was going to the Cowboys and that was kind of pretty much done. That was kind of where I just sort of said to Mary, I went into his office. That was hard. Just walking into his office as a young bloke, because I'd still, only played like 9 games of first grade. I would have been, what was that? Probably, 19, 20. Walking into his office, just to let him know that I'm decided to go to the
You don't want to let Mary down. He's such a good bloke.
Like, exactly right. And he's, he was obviously a big part of the reason. Like I learned, he gave me my NRL debut and I learned so much off him. It was hard just to tell him. Like I knew, like obviously, like I'm not in their NRL team regularly, so it wasn't going to affect them that much like that. But it was going to be more just if they just I didn't want to let them down. Feel like you've given me so much and now I'm just going. Like it was that was probably the hardest part of the decision. Sure. Like I knew it wasn't as much letting them down as much as I felt like it was probably more. I felt like I was just letting them down. Yeah. Obviously they progressed me and learned so much, and then just to tell them I was going was hard. So I sat in there.
At least Mary being a former player and a bloody good player at that, he would get it.
I think as you get older, you understand they get it. But back then you think it's like, they're not going to get this.
Why would Mary McGregor, the former good NRL player,
back then you think, they're not going to understand this at all. Like I'm just going to be the worst person in the world. And it's probably, it's experiences like that where you just realise, and it goes pretty well. Like they're like, like I would love you to stay, but like, because that was kind of the talk. Like, we'd love you to stay. Like, do we have a chance? Like, give us a chance to like put something on the table for you. Like, and that's kind of like why I mentioned earlier. Like, I was like, it's not about money. Like, it's purely not about that. Like, and that was kind of, so I don't even think we got to that stage back then. Like, I just said, don't even worry. Like, I don't want to stuff you around. Like, I'm not going to stay purely because I just want an NRL, more game time to be able to become NRL hooker, hopefully. And it's not about money, so there's really nothing you can do. Unless I was
going to get the 9 jersey.
Which is obviously not going to happen. So that was pretty much what it come down to, and he understood that. He was like, I do understand that, mate. So like, and it was sweet. He was just sort of wishing me good luck up there, and
Like I don't know if it changed or whatever, but my time when he was the Steelers New South Wales Cup coach, he was so good, Mary. Like I just love the fact that, and I don't know if it changed or whatever. When you get into a head coaching role in NRL, like things do change and it can get a bit harder, especially for the head coach because it's such a lot of pressure. But at least when I was under Mary, I just love the fact that he would tell you how it is. He'd be like, boom, this is what's happening. This is what I'm thinking. And you'd be surprised at the amount of NRL coaches that don't do that. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah. So, and I always felt really comfortable with Mary. I mean, this one time, like when I was at the Dragons, I had a lot of personal issues off the field. So I went home for like a couple months, and I really always appreciate the Dragons for allowing that to happen. But at the same time, of course, they're a bit like frustrated. I was in their top squad and that's taking a spot up and whatever. And like you could tell that they were kind of like, listen, if you come back, like almost like don't worry about coming back to a degree because it's the back end of the season. And I remember going back because I just felt an obligation of like, I've stuffed this up. I've screwed it up. I've let everyone down. However, I just want to come back to show that I care a little bit. And I remember Mary saying pretty much like, there's not a lot of people here that, would be cool with you being back here or whatever. Not that I did anything wrong to the club specifically. Not a lot of people who want you to get selected because I got selected as 18th man for their finals game. Yeah. But, I'm backing in, bro, and like blah, blah, blah. Just that conversation, you don't usually get that kind of real conversation with a coach, and that's why I always appreciate Mary for giving me the opportunity just to be able to don the jersey again, the Steelers jersey again in reserve grade, even if it was just 18th man. I didn't deserve it, but he gave it to me, so I appreciate him.
No, he's good.
He's great. Yeah. Great man. Mate, then so you go up to the Cowboys, going really well. Walk us through the New South Wales Origin selection in 2023. Do you remember how that all come about?
Yeah, that was probably more, that was the real, like getting that call was like the one just started tearing up. Like I'm walking through Harvey Norman. I think I need a new microwave or something. I'm walking in there and Freddie calls me, and it was 2023 game 2, and Appy had, I think, broke his jaw, and Appy broke his jaw. So I thought, and I was in the squad, and that. So I was just thinking, maybe a chance, but that was on the Sunday, and then I was like, didn't get a call on the Sunday. I was like, no, they've gone another way, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like obviously, disappointed with that, but then I got the call, and I got the call on the Monday. So actually, so that was the thing. So then we must have had a Thursday game because we got flogged on the Sunday. So I trained on the Sunday.
Yep.
And then cause I remember there was a bit of uncertainty, like because all the Queensland boys had gone into camp on the Sunday, or got the call, so they were going on the Monday, so they didn't train on the Sunday.
Yep.
So and they were, I remember Bear, Paul Bowman, our HPU up there, head of performance, he would just call me. He's like, "Are you coming in to train? Have you heard anything?" And I was like, "Nah, mate, I'll come in. I don't think so." He's like, "Okay, no worries." He's like, "See you near." So I remember going into training and what's it called? Yeah, we had a touch up because it was a bye. Yeah, so it was a bye week. So it was a touch up on the Sunday. It wasn't it wasn't a Thursday game because it wouldn't have been a big session. So it was a bye or something. So we had that's right. So they had the bye the following week, the Origin period. So they were touching them up until the Wednesday, and then they were getting a week off or whatever. So got flogged on the Sunday. So I was like, that's right. Obviously got a bye. Makes sense. Then the Monday got a call, and what's it called? And then and Fred, I just remember you get that sort of weird feeling in your chest, and the throat gets I was like, oh shit, and he answered, and he was straight at the point. He's like, "Congratulations, mate. You're gonna be making your Origin debut next Wednesday night, and just make sure you pack your boots and mouthguard, and we'll see you this afternoon." I think shit, it's 10 o'clock. I had probably an hour to get home, pack, and get to the airport. I was like,
far
shit,
out.
and it's just and my missus kind of probably knew as well. She was with me. I got the call, and I was seeing it, trying to act cool, but but yeah, I remember answering it like that, and she's obviously both so static, just jumped straight in the car, called mum and dad straight away, and that was the one probably more so than my NRL debut where it was
hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, 100%. That was that was kind of obviously always wanted to play NRL, that was a dream, but it was Origin Australia was the two, so when I got that call to play Origin, that was the one that really hit me. So
wow. And so what do you remember from that camp? Obviously you'd been in camp before, and I'm assuming walking in, putting on that blue training gear, it means so much. Yeah,
it's a lot different walking in just 18th, 19th man. There's no pressure on you, just sort of happy to be there, happy to be a part of it. Whereas expecting to play. So walking into camp, just trying to not grin, just trying to act cool and not just be, ecstatic. So, walking in there, just, just I think, mate, the boys are just so good, so welcoming. So many of the boys I still play with today, in Origin. And, they're just legends, and, we're obviously so welcoming and just so excited for me. That was probably the biggest, you notice the difference when you go in there as a squad member to you going in there to play. I guess that was the difference.
Yeah,
and all the boys are obviously so welcoming. They're hey mate, good to have you here. But then when you're making your debut and you're playing alongside them, it's just that it was that little bit different. I noticed, I guess, and that was probably the most exciting part too, is when you get in there and feel like they know you're going to war together. So
absolutely.
So you just need to be close. So. Because obviously, you don't realise it, but you have so many blokes come in as squad members. Back then, you think it's the best thing ever. I'm coming in as a squad member, as a young bloke, so good. But then, the difference, I guess, when I was playing was such a different week of training.
And a key man in the spine too. It's not like you're a winger that. Don't get me wrong, everyone's equally as important, but as a number 9, you got to.
That was probably the other thing. I was jersey 17, and I didn't know for a big part. Probably the start, I just assumed I was on the bench because Cookie was in there too. Cookie was there as well.
Yeah, okay.
So, so I'm thinking, it probably wasn't until midweek that we found out that, I'm starting and Cookie coming off the bench, and at the start I just thought, bit of pressure off. obviously it's still an Origin game. I'm still so nervous, but I could relax a little bit in the fact that the brunt of it's like I can just sort of focus on what I need to do. Like I'm not thinking about the start of the game. I could build my way into my getting onto the field,
see what it's like, see what's working, not working.
See what's working. Kind of. So, and then it's probably it's probably like the weekend before the Wednesday. We had our session on the Saturday. It was probably our main sort of session, and like just before the session, I had a video session and a spine chat, and found out I was starting. I was like, shit, right, let's go. I'm doing that Origin tackle off the kickoff or whatever, all that stuff you see as a young bloke. He was thinking, I was like, I hope there's a bit of the stings out of the game by the time I get out there. Was what I was thinking. Yeah, obviously everyone goes so hard at the start. So I was like, the sting will be out of it by the time I get out there. I was like, oh, right. So I'm into that.
When you did play, did you realise the sting never goes out of it?
No, 100%. Well, it's weird. Like some games it has and then some games it hasn't. Like
true, because you can see it when you watch it. Games that are like actual Origin intensity, other ones that aren't. Yeah, true.
Yeah, compared to like, and to be fair, my debut was probably, whether it was just because it was my debut, it was probably one of the hardest games I played, like intensity-wise. Like it was a big game. It was at Suncorp. Yeah, that was an intense game, and it never let off the whole game. And so many of them do. And it's obviously way higher than like NRL, but but you do get those games where it's tough at the start, but then the intensity just sort of, I don't know why. And the way the game goes, there might be penalties, or the way the game goes, more stoppages or something. You certainly feel the difference.
What do you remember from the debut?
I remember one of the biggest things I remember is Tommy Trbojevic getting injured 5 minutes into the game and Cookie going out to the centres, and the message come out that Robbo, you're probably going 80. That was probably the toughest. 5 minutes in the game, I'm cooked
already. Your debut.
Debut. I'd just been nervous energy plus the start of an Origin game. Cool.
At Suncorp too.
At Suncorp. That was So that was probably when that message came, I was like, shit, right, here we go. Got to try and play 80 here.
What are you thinking as a hooker with that? Like, especially, you play 80 club a lot of the time, and you have before, but like, do you think I need to conserve myself? Like, are you know what I mean? Like, whereas if you're going out for 40 or 20-minute blocks, you can go, okay, I can take 4 or 5 runs of a one. What's the thought process?
No, I guess I try to just always play pretty balls out. And just hold on. Yeah, okay. And that was probably, I guess, you're right. In clubs, probably a little bit different. There might be times where you're sort of probably game managing a little bit more and trying to, conserve for right points in the game. And you're also a bit more comfortable in the team. Like, if I'm cooked there for a period, I'll swap outside a back row or just go to to drinky. Like, obviously, like, can you just pass the first couple of ball? I'll be there, tackle 2. 0 and 1. He just passed off the deck to the outside backs running and that. Whereas I'm not telling Teddy to do that. Like,
Teddy, get it there, mate.
No way. Like, it's like, I'm just excited to be playing alongside him.
Do you remember anything from in the game?
Specifically, not overly. No, it's all a bit of a blur.
Yeah, okay.
Like the whole game. Like always every game though. I remember just the anthem and just looking up at your family. That's the.
What was a booze like at Suncorp? Have you ever felt anything like it?
Oh yeah, it's
like when you run out as New South Welshman.
Yeah, it's crazy. But honestly, like, I love playing there. I think I take more out of the booze than I do. Like the cheers are obviously great, but it's obviously so good playing here at a core at home. But like playing up there at Suncorp, when you hear the hatred, it's like it kind of fuels you a bit.
It's Origin.
It's Origin. It's what it's about. Like I got so much hate for Queensland. It's like, so like I understand when they've got so much hate for us. Like it's just part of the game. Like not Queensland, it's like Maroons. So like
it's okay, bro. You can see people say you hate Queensland, mate.
But
can you, when you run out, do you like the description of actually? It's one thing hearing the crowd, but when they boo in Suncorp, you can almost feel it. It goes through you.
It is a great stadium, the way they've built it. It's just, I think that's what I'm so lucky to, most of those, like you say, those intense games have been at Suncorp when you say those different games. There's a few other ones like, I've played in like,
What was the 2024 series? Because that was, Slater went back-to-back 22-23, and then he's won 24, lost 25.
Yeah.
Walk us through the 24 series, because that was the famous... Were you a part of the famous victory in Suncorp at that time?
Yep.
Walk us through that.
Yeah, Yeah, the decider.
Yeah, or just the series.
Yeah, the series. Yeah, series is a different one, eh? Like, it's just sort of... sorry, this opener was a different one. Like, obviously with Sue getting sent. I don't think we all really understood, like, because we just assumed 10 minutes in the bin. Then, like, I think I still remember one of the boys, I think Jakey, Travojevic, and, you know, Jakey's like, he's like, no, he's been sent. All right. It was just funny. Like, he was just as shocked as all of us, but he's just, I got to hold it together. He's held it together.
So he was going through the emotions with you, like, he's been sent.
Because we're all standing together, and I was beside him. I think that's why I remember it so much. And he's like, he's been sent. Like, and then like, so we both like had the shit ourselves a bit, like experience together, and then to see him just switch it around, and then come when all the boys going, all right, boys, and then he's talking, us thinking, how good's this? He's just turned it. We both just panicked together, and then gone, oh shit,
got control of the emotions, and then went forward.
Now we control it. Like like nothing changes. We just do it like our game, like this, we'll sort it. And I think that was the biggest confidence
massive
that we took the whole series. Like, I know we didn't, but like we felt like we won that game. Like, we like that second half. They won the first half. So straight after it happened, they scored 2 back to back.
That's essentially won the game, really.
Won the game. Yeah. Because I remember, I think we scored one later. Teddy scored, I think. Yeah, Teddy scored in the second half, maybe just before or just after half time. And then pretty much that whole second half, we just camped down on their line, and we couldn't quite score. We just didn't have, we couldn't find an overlap, and you're not kind of, it's so hard in Origin to get points, let alone without a strike centre like Sue, like, and an extra man, like. So I think that was, we just couldn't quite, but like everything was just down their end, like our defence, like they couldn't get out of their end, like that's whole second half, like we just sort of kept them down there. And then I think they scored one late, actually, so it kind of blew it out a little bit more than what it felt like.
Yep.
So I think, for us, we were pretty confident going into the second game, whereas no one really gave us a chance because obviously the score line and that. Yep. So I think internally, and Madge he's a great coach. Like the way he sort of instilled the confidence in us after that game. Like, to be fair, probably didn't feel like that until we got back into camp. Like, as I was same as everyone. Fuck, we got flogged, like shit, like second game, like righto, like we like still win it, but it's not gonna be easy. Like, but then we got in there, and he just sort of, the way he spoke to us, it was like, we showed us so much stuff. I'm like, we should have won that game, even with the man down. It's like, we'll do this pretty easy with the full team, like, and went out there in Melbourne and were lucky enough to like flog them back the other way. So so we had a big win down there in Melbourne. So obviously that put a bit more confidence as well to come off the back of the first game. And then obviously going into a decider, it's a different beast again. And then at Suncorp,
15 years hasn't been
so done. I think that was good. So we had the confidence, but then it being in Suncorp and against obviously the Maroons have done it time and time again, like in those deciders when they haven't been given a chance. I think that was kind of the good level because it kind of confident, but then not cocky, because it was like, we know this is going to be hard. This is, and I think what Madge just instilled is just, all I want from this game, I don't care, is I just want the best defensive performance any New South Wales team has ever had.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
That's all I want from this game. Yeah, it's the best defensive performance. Like, I don't care what happens. Like.
Such a simple, strong message.
I just want you to come off the field knowing the best New South Wales performance defensively, like anyone's ever seen. Yeah, wow. And I think that was, obviously there's so much more to the game than that, but that was a big theme of the whole week. Like, and that was all anyone was thinking. And the weird part about it was, like, that was definitely the hardest Origin I've ever played.
Crazy game.
Yeah.
And usually, I'll be fair, Dinkum was like just a fan of rugby league. Usually the moment where New South Wales break per se, you didn't. That was what was unique about that for me from a Queensland perspective. You just didn't. You essentially did to Queensland what Queensland always do to New South Wales. Yeah, I think that was probably, and I think the weird part about that game, and I probably like you said, like when you're in that moment, because I've never played anything like it, and it was just brutal, like, and just the line speed was ridiculous. Crazy game. Yeah,
boys were just running. Like, I felt like bad at times. Like, hooker, I'm just giving it as quick as I can off the deck. Like, ever giving it, and they're just getting hit as I'm hit, and I'm like, like we're doing the same thing, but like, they can't be outside. Like they're getting hit as I'm touching the ball. Like I'm pretty much passing it to them when they were being tackled, and just it was the same the other way, and it was just like, but I never felt like we were going to lose the game. That was probably the best. Like even like they were just that line speed and everything they had. It was just the whole time. It was just, and everyone was like that across the whole board. Like no one thought we were going to lose it. Yeah. So I think that was probably the coolest experience I've ever had. Like when you say like, I hadn't obviously never won a comp, but that you say you have that feeling. I think that was the difference. Like there was no. So it kind of like, and obviously it goes either way. Like other times, like there's other times you go into a game since, and I go, oh, I hope we win this. Like, and it's like, shit. Does that bit of doubt mean that we're not as good as like we were then? And then like you go, like, but then no, because you go out and win, and it's just not like that. But I don't know why. Like that game just had that fear. It's like we weren't going to lose it. Like, and it's, I know that sound like a bit arrogant saying that, but like it's just like when you're sort of in those moments and in games, you go like, and it can go both ways. You're thinking, shit, like how long? Like you look around, and it happens at club all the time. Absolutely. You go, like, how long can we hold on? Like we're in a grind. You're looking at boys, and you're seeing boys are getting tired. You know they're getting tired, but you're looking at your boys, and you know who can hold on longer than others. And you're going, shit, like boys are getting tired here. Can we hold on? And we like jag a try, they drop it, and we score. Like, and then it's like, okay, like we got out of that. But yeah, at that point it was kind of like. And I know it's Origin, so you got like I was like I'm not breaking, and I know like none of these boys are like. So it was kind of that kind of feeling like in that point, like and I'm not saying you have that every time. There's definitely games where I'm thinking shit, like I'm cooked. Like I hope I'm going to try and do everything I can until I can't be like it was a weird feeling in that game. Was
so Connor Watson throws the ball out the back, hits the deck. I think Luai picks it up. He makes the line break. Bradman Best goes over. And it has truly been one of the great Origin games, back and forth, back and forth. What are you feeling when you're seeing Bradman Best streaking away?
It's static. Like, it was actually such a cool, mate, Brady.
The big fella.
He's a legend. And for him to go past, like it was just funny because he's gone past
Gags, I think, don't go guys.
Gags and KP, like two Knights teammates. Like
so true.
We're
so
massive
true.
for him. Like it's funny. Like, and he's just so funny. Like he's just, it's just. Brady, it was so good for him, and like all the boys were so pumped. Like, it was actually so cool. Like, such a cool experience.
Oh, mate,
that was obviously the comp winning scenes you see when boys win comps, and they're like it was kind of for me like that was the closest thing I've had to that. Like, and that was
And then Moses goes over, step off the right foot, I think goes through,
and Moe,
and you know you've won it. Then you get to enjoy on the field like we've done it pretty much.
100%. That was cool.
Wow.
Well, that was a cool part because I was off at that period when Moe scored. And when Brady scored, and then was back on, and when Moe scored, and to finish the game, that was cool. So like to finish when you like knew you'd won, but it was kind of like the horse, like the races. Like I was riding Brady, like I was on the sidelines. I was mad at watching him. So like, it was good. That was sick. Mate, whipping him home.
I got to let you go because it's 12 o'clock. But just quickly, favorite rapper of all time,
favorite rapper,
or just musician.
Musician, probably Luke Combs.
Luke Combs? Okay, country man. He's a country man. Favourite movie of all time?
Favourite movie of all time, I'll have to say Law Abiding Citizens.
Ooh, a great movie. Really, that's underrated. A great movie. Jamie Foxx and what's the...
Gerard Butler.
Great movie. Great movie. Mate, thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. I really do appreciate it. And I can't wait to see how you go this year, mate. Down in Sydney now, moving down from Queensland, being a Queenslander yourself, which is going to be new for you down here in New South Wales, mate.
It's going to be a little bit different, mate, but looking forward to it, mate. Just kidding. Good to be home.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming on, bro. Appreciate it.